blame, you netted.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking it. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the boardroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking it. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the boardroom. ETH got me waiting 3 more hours. Taking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'm killing every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking it. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Shit, stick it in the boardroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking it. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the boardroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We bring our AMAs twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, with updates on our protocol, and proud ourselves in full transparency and keeping everybody up to date on what we have coming. Another awesome AMA in store today, a lot to go over as usual. We'll try to keep it to about 1 hour. So we're happy to have you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as well. All the engagement and ad revenue that we're able to generate for YouTube goes to support EMP and the protocol. So also, I'm joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a good day. We've made lots of great progress. We had a great AMA earlier, so feel good, happy to be here, and excited that all of you are here with us.
Yeah, 100%. We have had a very productive day. This is actually our second AMA of the day. We had an awesome AMA earlier with Spritz Finance. Make sure that you go back and watch that recording if you have not had a chance to catch it live. And we'll do a recap at the end of this AMA as well. But definitely check that out. It's only about a half an hour, but really, really bullish information in there. And if you don't know what Spritz is, it's an incredible platform. So we'll talk about that again at the end. But to kick things off, man, ETH is absolutely pumping. LA, how about those charts? Looking pretty good, huh?
Oh my God, so good. Stinky Beans posted in the group earlier a screenshot when it first hit over 2,000, and I was waiting for that moment, and I was just like, yes, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I hesitate to say that, the bull run has commenced. Obviously, things are looking really good. I think there will be some short-term volatility still, but I think, that the timeline that we've all been talking about, really getting into a full bull run by this summer and topping out at the end of the year, I think that is definitely in the works. And we're seeing it now. I mean, we talk a lot about not really focusing on the charts for both EMP and eShare, but you cannot argue with how incredibly sexy the EMP and eShare chart look. EMP has been on an absolute tear up and to the right, a very gradual, organic recovery, stair-stepping all the way up and to the right. eShare has been doing the same, and so things are just looking really, really great. And again, because we're pegged to ETH, remember, we chose ETH, on purpose. We think that ETH has a lot more upside potential than BTC, and BNB, I think is also a sleeper, but you get exposure to BNB as the main liquidity pair of eShare. But again, having that peg to ETH is super powerful. And on days like today, when ETH is pumping, it brings the price of EMP up with it, as well as the price of our overall LP and liquidity pools. I mean, we're at one point we're pushing about $5 million of liquidity on EMP ETH because ETH has been pumping. So again, the ecosystem's looking phenomenal. Even though we're still below peg, we're recovering very organically, and Fusion is shaping up to deliver on all that. And another really bullish thing for ETH is that the Shanghai upgrade was a major success. For those of you that don't know, Ethereum is transitioning from proof of work to proof of stake, and the Shanghai upgrade allowed all of the Ethereum validators to unlock their tokens. And typically, again, when something like that happens, you would assume that there would be potential selling pressure because all the people that have been locked up in validator nodes now have the opportunity to take some profit. I know personally I have a validator node, and the APR has been absolute trash. It's only like 4% a year. I mean, in what world are we competing with traditional finance and losing? So I think the APRs have not been worth it. So I was figuring we would see a sell-off when ETH validator nodes unlocked. But on the contrary, we see an actual pump on ETH, which is just mind-blowing and shows, how ETH maxis are just diehards, man. They want to accumulate all the ETH they possibly can. And shout out to, again, the Ethereum Foundation. You have no idea how hard it is to code what they were able to pull off, transitioning from proof of work to proof of stake, and they did it seamlessly. So shout out to Vitalik and all his devs for some amazing work. So yeah, ETH is again bullish as well. EMP is bullish. Everything is bullish, and we're excited. So anything you want to add to that, LA, before we move into some other updates?
No, I think that's just extremely exciting, and I can't wait to see it continue to go up.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and again, when we launched EMP, ETH was about $4,000, so we still have a lot more upside potential. And I would venture to say that in this next cycle, we definitely see all-time highs being broken as well. So, all right, a lot of you again are still wanting to get some alpha on Fusion. We may be able to give a little bit of alpha today. I know a lot of you are asking for the white paper, and again, LA and I we're busy almost all day in between these AMAs finalizing the white paper. So the first bit of alpha is the text version of the white paper is finished as of about 20 minutes ago. So now it's going to be sent off to the designers, make it look pretty, make it much more visual. Shout out to Mike G and Addicts and all of our designers that have been involved. So again, no promises, but maybe the white paper on Monday's AMA. If not, hopefully, definitely by Thursday. And again, this white paper has some very sensitive information in it that will again make peg recovery inevitable, not just a what if. So we've been super busy again behind the scenes with that. In terms of Fusion and what it means, I want to go over a few things. We've also had a lot of people been asking about their different positions in the protocol, and I just want to reiterate that no matter what you're in, whether it's bonds or up EMP or detonator contracts or just flat out LP in the farm, nobody is being left behind. So I don't want people to try to arbitrage, between different parts of the protocol or break their LP prematurely. There's a lot to consider with that. So just rest assured that no matter what you're comfortable with in the protocol, it's up to you. Maybe you prefer to be in the farm. I know, again, not financial advice, but if it was me, I'd be accumulating more LP because I can still earn eShare before the Fusion goes live. So again, that would be a great way to do it, but maybe you want to speculate on up EMP. Again, every day we've seen a new all-time high on up EMP, and that could be a way to actually multiply the EMP that you have for Fusion, again, through the mechanism that is always going up. So there's a lot of different ways to play it. Again, LA, I don't know if you want to just comment on that real fast as well. I know a lot of people were speculating on breaking LP, but really, you may shoot yourself in the foot doing that. So don't be that person. Yeah.
I would say, like, in my opinion, the way that I'm personally doing it is I'm continuing to build my farm and earn all the way up to the launch of Fusion and the big event that we've been alluding to, because I want to keep earning until we make the new transitions into the new way that the protocol is going to operate.
For sure.
We've made it very clear that you don't need to exit your positions in order to enter into Fusion. So that always happens, sorry. So I'm not exiting any of my positions. I have, every part of the protocol checked off, and I'm not touching any of those. The only thing that I'm doing to prepare is any fresh powder that I have, I'm continuing to buy EMP and eShare and adding to my positions. That's personally my choice in what I'm doing. I can't tell you what to do, but that is a sound approach if you're looking for an example of something that would be a good approach to possibly follow.
I love it. Absolutely, LA. Again, not financial advice. We can only, lay the groundwork for what we have coming. And truthfully, there is no right or wrong answer. It really is your preference in the protocol. So, and to LA's point, if anything, the only right or wrong answer, the right answer is to, again, continue to add to your bags before the white paper comes out, because I think once this information in the white paper is released, and again, the major, incentives that may be in that white paper, you definitely want to try to get EMP as cheap as you can, and that's why we've been saying just continue to, DTA. And load up on both EMP and eShare. eShare's been on a bit of a dip. It topped out all the way at almost 180 bucks. I may even broke 180. So now it's down just a little bit. Might be a good time to DCA. And again, never ever ever invest more than you can afford. But if you want to move some profit from other protocols, buy low and sell high is usually the way people make it in these sort of things. So yeah, again, not financial advice. Yeah.
And I've said this many, many times, but I will reiterate because I know there's going to be tons of people who are kicking themselves saying, I wish I had have listened. I wish I had have listened. But the lower you are able to get in, the more benefit and upside potential you will experience when these things come to fruition, when the white paper comes out, when Fusion launches. The lower you're able to purchase EMP at, eShare at, the more upside potential you will experience when we reveal these details that are enclosed in these things that are about to be released. There's a reason that we've been saying this for weeks, and it has nothing to do with our benefit and everything to do with yours.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and that's a great point real fast, and then we'll go over the fusion diagram real quick. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of these AMAs we've tried to, definitely sprinkle in some hype and some teasing, but it's not to our benefit. I mean, we're not doing this on purpose to, drag it out. I mean, we literally are just trying to strategically release this information in a very specific way, because that plays into how Fusion operates. So again, there's no ulterior motives. To LA's point, we're not doing this for our benefit. We're doing this for the benefit of all of you, because I guarantee when we release the white paper, people are going to go, man, I wish I would have stopped asking about when white paper, so I would have had another week or two to accumulate. So again, I'm calling it now. I know that will happen. So again, don't be that person. Take advantage of the opportunity while it's in front of you. So all right, let me go over.
I
Yeah. Oh,
warned
go
it
ahead, Ellie.
before. Whatever day it is that we release that white paper, it is going to be the new Black Friday, because everybody and their dog are going to be rushing to buy EMP and eShare. And I said to AJ before the AMA, I can't wait to see the ecosystem burst with all the new volume.
Totally. No, absolutely, LA. And again, that's something we're not even accounting for. You know, a lot of the volume that we're seeing on eShare and EMP right now is purely organic from, all of our loyal, participants that are accumulating more. But once we get Fusion out and people are really seeing the potential and we have a lot more details, and then eventually, even when the APRs start kicking in and, it's paying out really well, and much more sustainable, and we do finally recover peg, I mean, the amount of new volume coming into the protocol will be absolutely massive, and we're gonna have a whole advertising campaign around that. Again, we can raise money for other protocols extremely well. Imagine what we can raise for our own protocol. So again, all that is coming, and it also plays in perfectly with the impending bull run. So if we're firing on all cylinders, in the next few months, again, Fusion is well released by then. We're at peg. ETH is pumping. I mean, there could not be more, bullish things for the protocol when all that happens. So make sure that you're in line and in position, to experience all of those amazing things instead of saying, "Damn, I missed it out." So again, don't be that person. All right, I'm gonna go over the EMP Fusion infinite passive income loop really quick. I'm gonna give a high-level overview. I'm not gonna read each little part. All of you can definitely do that on your own. But number one is our central grid. So the central grid is essentially replacing the way our boardroom operates right now. And the whole idea of the central grid is very similar to DEX Finance. They are one of our partner protocols through the DEX that we're building, but even just as a fundamental economic system, they were one of the first tomb forks or seigniorage protocols to move to protocol-owned emissions, and they had a massive success with that. I think they lost peg, for about 2 hours. An entire year an entire year of the protocol being around, and so we're taking a lot of inspiration from that, the way the central grid works, and it's a lot of mechanisms behind the scenes where, like for instance, the boardroom. This is the new and improved version of the boardroom, and rather than being reliant on, a potential bad actor that has a bunch of e-share in the boardroom, and then once we're back over peg, all they do is claim the EMP and dump it on all of our heads. We will never ever be in that situation again, the way the central grid operates. So we own the emissions as a protocol, and we're able to determine again whether we release more EMP in the ecosystem or not. I mean, there may be a situation where whatever the circulating supply of EMP is right at this particular moment, I think it's about 60 million, that may be the highest that ever is. And from here on out, EMP is actually deflationary through all the mechanisms we have in place with Fusion, while simultaneously keeping peg and giving even more incentive to eShare and the payouts that the protocol is able to produce. Because not only is Fusion its own money generator, again we'll talk about that in a minute with the marketplace, but we're also able to then distribute our revenue again, through the DEX, through our Treasury investments, all the revenue through the protocol is now distributed through Fusion, and has massive buy pressure on EMP, or Eshare, or Detonator, or any part of a protocol that needs help. And when things don't need help, then we literally just distribute it as more rewards through the microgrid. So the second part is the microgrid, and the microgrid is essentially your individual ownership of the central grid. So central grid is the big picture, everything happening behind the scenes. Microgrid is what you own, and it's essentially your wallet in the protocol. And this is actually an NFT. So not only are you able to add, more EMP or more eShare or energy to your microgrid, but this is also how you cash out of the protocol as well, by buying what we're calling batteries. You can buy an ETH battery or a BNB battery or USDC battery, really any blue chip asset that you can think of, or even partner tokens, maybe SPS from Splinterlands, or other tokens, Dex Share. There could be limitless possibilities, and now you're able to take profit without ever having to sell EMP, and hurt the protocol. So really bullish things happening, and all of it is pretty much automated as well. So if you're not able to earn enough that you can complete what we're calling a power cycle, every power cycle will be, you have to have enough energy to finish a power cycle to cash out. But if you don't have enough energy to complete a power cycle, that energy is automatically auto-compounded for you to build your ownership in Fusion. So again, no rewards are ever lost, or even delayed, like you may see in Detonator. They're all applied in real time, and again, very similar to the Beefy or Yield Wolf auto compounding pools, but all of it's happening behind the scenes, and forcing good actions in the ecosystem. So again, that's a high-level overview. The two other things, or just described, the earning mechanism, and then number 4 is the marketplace. So again, there will be a small fee on all transactions through the marketplace, but that fee is then directly distributed to all of you that are in Fusion. So not only is EMP Fusion more sustainable, but it's actually its own revenue stream for the protocol, which again is unheard of. So there's just amazing things on the horizon, and I know all of us are really excited for that. So, all right, I know it was a lot, LA. You want to maybe add to any of that or clarify anything I may have skimmed over?
I feel like that was a really good, like, broad overview, actually, that made it really simplified and not too complicated.
All right, amazing. Yeah,
Thanks.
well, and yeah, is there any questions? Again, feel free, if you are on YouTube, to ask questions. If we miss it, we'll answer it at the end. But if there's any specific questions to Fusion while we're on the topic,
Is
feel
the
free.
team is the team deciding how much EMP to release, or is it coded?
Ooh, this is a really good question, and this might be some alpha again. I know you guys love your alpha. The short answer.
Lubric's good at pulling those questions
I
out.
know, I love it, man. We gotta give him an award for that. So anyway, the short answer is, in the short term, it will be a team decision, especially until we get back to peg and things are much more healthy, and there's a lot less room for error. Um, However, that would be an amazing way to incorporate a DAO. So that is something that is on. It's not on the roadmap, but it is something we're talking about, where a lot of those decisions would be made by the DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, which again would be based on your ownership of EMP Fusion. You could vote for things like that. So yeah, the short answer is we always have some sort of control, and that's not, to be centralized or to have, influence, but it is to just maintain that there is no malicious actions. But anything that we can decentralize and give the users the ability to decide on will definitely be something that we move towards. So yeah, great question. And again, hopefully that wasn't too much alpha, but yeah.
That was good. Yeah, love it. Can you elaborate why peg recovery is inevitable with the Fusion launch? At this point, what harm can it do? People will buy up EMP on speculation either way. Alpha, please.
Yeah, so again, I would love to just drop it right now, but we don't want to give any unfair advantages. And those that are paying attention, to the AMAs and the rollouts that we're doing, we want them to have the first crack as well. But I don't know. Again, I can't really say that. But just know that the white paper will have some very specific information. The way that we're handling this event we keep alluding to that really makes it a no-brainer to get EMP, and therefore again making peg recovery inevitable. So yeah, LA, I
Aside,
don't know. I don't want to say the wrong
aside
things. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, aside from that though, can you just touch on like why Fusion is so bullish for PEG in
Oh, for
general and
sure.
the sustainability of the protocol?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I gotta be careful what I say, but yeah, in terms of just the economics of how fusion will work, we are literally doing everything in our power to eliminate cell pressure on EMP itself, while simultaneously allowing everybody to cash out, and actually make money, but without having to worry about somebody making the mistake of selling EMP and hurting PEG. So, the high level overview is that we've done everything in our power to incentivize new buying pressure on EMP, to cut off any potential selling pressure on EMP, and simply from the math alone, promoting a peg recovery. And, once the protocol does, again, not if, but when the protocol does recover peg, then we're in a much better position to control peg because the boardroom will not be functioning as a lot of you, maybe used to. And, I don't want that to be misconstrued that that gives less value to eShare. If anything, it's going to give more value to eShare because we may even get into a situation where we can sort of curb the emissions on eShare as well. Because not only are we controlling the EMP emissions, but then we have a lot more control over the eShare emissions. So, and really, with eShare being the only transactional token of Fusion, that gives massive use case to eShare. And, there'll be many, many things in the white paper that give even more bonuses to owning eShare. And I think, again, that's a sleeper. We keep talking about EMP and how vital that will be in terms of ownership in Fusion, but, eShare is also equally important, if not more important, when it comes to Fusion. So again, not financial advice, but if you had, an extra $1,000 to invest, or even $100, maybe do $50 of EMP and $50 of eShare. I mean, having a little bit of both really will set you up perfectly for what's coming. And on that note, I do want to answer one question a lot of you have been asking. I was waiting for Jake to give me the official word, but I'm 99% sure this will be the case. But a lot of you have been asking about the eShare farm and whether it will be unlocked when Fusion launches. And the answer is yes. So again, don't feel like you're missing out. Feel free to lock up your eShare in that farm. And then when we're ready to announce the next step of again, this major event, and Fusion launching, you will be able to, utilize that eShare. So there you go. That's the big alpha for today, LA, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I twisted his arm before we got on here to get him to share
she
that with
did.
you. So,
Yeah, she did for sure. So, all right, awesome. Is there any other
but I know
questions?
that a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
you
go ahead.
guys have been asking about that. So hopefully that'll give you some peace of mind. Um, Tiberius is really cranking out the questions, seeking for the ultimate alpha, but I'm not sure that we can answer those today. But just know that if you're looking for answers on how specific parts of the protocol will operate, there's two things I can say. One, um, we do have a plan to integrate each part of the protocol into the new system in some way. And if we've told you, there's not going to be a need to break apart LPs or exit your positions, you can trust that that's the case. But two, if you read this graphic, you'll get a really good idea of what the whole system will look like from a broad overview moving forwards. And then when we release the white paper, we will give you all the specifics. But if you read that graphic closely, you'll understand how it's set up and how it will work. So that might answer some of those questions if you read it closely.
Yeah, totally. No doubt. And again, we've accounted for literally everything we possibly can. We've had some of the brightest minds in crypto working on Fusion for literally the last 4.5 months, almost even 6 months, from when we were really starting to think about the future. And we knew all along that, that we would have to move into more of a sustainable model. We've seen that with every tomb fork, or seigniorage protocol in general. They always have to move away from the uncontrolled inflation. And in the beginning, it's amazing because everybody can win when you have a situation like that. But in terms of sustainability, it can get really difficult. So it's only natural that we transition into a much more, again, profitable and sustainable model that removes all of the human error that we've seen, and we were pioneers in that at EMP. Again, not to be cocky, but we are and have been, other than maybe Dex Finance, literally the most successful tomb fork of all time. And we've done that through, again, not only an amazing community, but education first. And so, we did everything to educate people how to participate in the ecosystem. But unfortunately, some people don't want to learn. Some people are malicious on purpose. Some people have a very short-term mindset. And, we've preached from day one that it's about the long-term mindset. And, again, no ulterior motives. I can tell you firsthand, I have built a multi-million-dollar portfolio in crypto by never ever focusing on the short term. Everything I do is focused on the long term. And if you have that mentality and you invest in teams rather than projects that are always building, we're always innovating, I mean, that is what will set you up for the future. And so, Fusion is the epitome of all of that. Again, we will still have the education portion, and we're working on, again, not only the white paper, like I mentioned earlier, but we will have a whole academy around Fusion as well. But the idea is that we don't need an academy, that Fusion is really straightforward and simple enough to understand and participate in without needing a finance degree. So that's all that we have in store moving forward for sure. So, LA, again, anything you want to add or anything on Peg
Yeah.
as well? Go ahead.
And just on that note, like I know that when we were going through the YouTube comments together, there were some people that expressed that they felt like this felt really complicated to them, and there was a little bit of, um, frustration expressed and stuff like that. And I know that on the outside, I myself am someone that can sometimes be resistant to change and feel uncomfortable when things are new and I have to get accustomed to new things. But on the outside, when we've only shared this small chunk of it and such a broad overview, it can feel a little bit confusing because it is new. But I promise you that when you get to read the white paper, when we come on here and explain the whole white paper to you, when you see the UI, when you spend a week interacting in it, it will feel much, much less complicated than the existing form of the protocol. It is designed so that even beginner DeFi users, crypto users, can very easily integrate into our ecosystem with a lot less hand holding than before. And we will be just as dedicated to helping everyone transition into this or more than we always have been. But it's just designed so that it won't require that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points, LA. And really, it boils down to we're answering all the community feedback that we have heard over the last, again, 6 months of this bear market and the protocol, price declining. We've taken all of the criticism into account, and we like that. I mean, that's what builds us into a better protocol. And, the idea is that we'll never have to get on an AMA and say, don't sell EMP, because with Fusion, everything is now encapsulated in your microgrid, which is an NFT that you can cash out. Again, I think a lot of people are going to be cashing in rather than cashing out, especially when we're able to deliver on all, the external revenue streams. The DEX alone, which we'll talk about in a minute, could potentially be tens of thousands of dollars a day supporting our ecosystem or paying out Fusion. But the point is that if there are people that want to get out, they can do so without ever hurting the protocol. And again, this is revolutionary because seniors protocols live and die by the peg, and if you literally eliminate the downside of sell pressure on peg, then you have a much better ecosystem. And again, another question that we got a lot was, well, does PEG even matter, with Fusion? And the short answer to that is absolutely. I mean, we definitely wanted to continue the exposure to Ethereum. I think we're all super bullish on Ethereum. I wouldn't consider myself an ETH maxi, but I do think that as far as all the blue chips, it has a lot more upside potential than most, and the history to back it up. And so my point to all this is that, we do still want EMP to be fractionalized Ethereum, and we have everything in place now to make that happen. So PEG is still, part of the ecosystem, but we're approaching it in a totally unique way that no other seniorage protocol has done. Again, Fusion, I want to reiterate this, and that's why, again, I know a lot of you want this to be out. We've been talking about it for a long time now, but you have to understand, this is completely built from the ground up. We're not forking another idea. We're not, taking some pieces of one protocol and some pieces of another protocol and then, like, Frankensteining them together. We are literally building this from the ground up. And again, Cody has been one of the masterminds behind this. He'll be on next week to give more insight. Again, maybe when we're ready to release that white paper as well. But we've had, again, LA, Bull, me, Jake, everybody from the team, and Cody, and the 5 new devs that we've hired to help us bring this to life. I mean, all of these minds have been putting, a major amount of effort into making EMP Fusion something really, really special. So, all right, again, enough hype. I'm getting myself excited on all this. But any other comments with PEG or eShare prices, LA? I know, again, just other than accumulate, right? Yeah.
I think that's it. I mean, there's only so many ways and so many times we can say it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
We got Aaron and Vino who want to ask questions, I think.
All right, yeah, we have time for some questions, and then we'll talk about Spritz and we'll wrap it up with the L1X DEX as well. But yeah, Aaron, you want to go first, and then we'll bring on Vino.
Hey, what's up, AJ, LA, everybody? How's it going?
Hey, brother, how are you?
Good, man. I got a quick question. So, with the microgrid is a NFT, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. And so, will we just have one, or can we have multiple microgrids?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Aaron. So, the plan right now is that you will be able to have one per wallet address. So if you wanted to have multiple wallet addresses, you could, but we're eliminating a lot of other, daily ROI or passive income platforms. There is an actual advantage of having multiple wallets because you avoid the max payout. You're able to kind of airdrop to yourself, basically. And there's a lot of exploit potential and all that. So the whole idea is that we don't want to make it advantageous to have multiple wallets. So the whole idea is that you can just pile on, your ownership of the central grid through just one microgrid. And it's also more beneficial to do that as well because now you're getting even more ownership of the pool and you can cycle again. This is alpha. You'll be able to cycle your power cycles faster the higher ownership of the protocol you have. So it really incentivizes you to build one microgrid as large as you can. Now on the flip side, I think a lot of potential problem with that would be when you're ready to sell. If you have a killer microgrid that's worth 100 grand, it may be really hard to find a buyer to buy that entire microgrid. So we will probably, and again, all of this is subject to change. You guys are getting all the alpha out of me that you can, but we will have an option to actually break up the microgrid if you're looking to sell on the marketplace. So again, hopefully that answers your question, Aaron. I want to answer more, but I can't really go into it. But yeah, did that help?
They always know
further?
how to get it out of
Yeah,
you.
I know, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, that totally answers it. And I was just on that note, like with my microgrid, I can choose my profit token. Is that what, like, I could choose DexShare as my profit token? Is that what you were saying?
Absolutely, brother. Again, that is the plan, and that's why it's really bullish for the detonator style contracts as well, because now you're able to even take profit without having to sell or break any LP that is in the detonator contract. So yeah, I mean, you could take it in ETH, you could take it in DexShare. I mean, we're going to be running specials to have partner protocols again put their token on the marketplace, and this opens up a major marketing opportunity. Again, we talked about even offering Splinterlands packs, and that's exciting because those aren't even on EVM chains. That's on Hive, so that will be something that we can implement hopefully with L1X help. But yeah, I mean that the sky is the limit. We could even offer pre-sale opportunities. Imagine that. Imagine, again, for L1X would be a great example. Imagine if all of this was up and running when we did the raise for L1X. Imagine the only way to get into L1X presale, as in terms of our allocation, would have been through Fusion. I mean, that would have brought $2.5 million worth of volume into the protocol, and so that kind of stuff is what really blows my mind, and the potential of what Fusion is. Again, I mean, I'm not trying to be a moon boy or get overly hyped, but these are all real possibilities that is not just, we hope this will happen. This will happen. And we again have the history to prove that. So
Yeah, really awesome, AJ, and thanks, LA. And I think that's enough pleb questions from this guy for the day. So thanks for everything, guys, and I'll see you the next time.
All right,
Later.
awesome, Aaron. Sounds good, man. I hope your Zen bags are mooning. I know you've been trying to get me on Zen, bro. I missed the boat, but yeah. Again, bring some of that profit back to EMP. So shout out to Zen and Hex. All right, awesome, Aaron. You got it, bro.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Eric.
All right, Vino, I think. Yeah,
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Vino, what's up, brother? How are you?
Hanging in there. Been a busy week and a half for me.
For sure, brother. I know. We're both burning a candle at both ends, man. No doubt. So.
But I had a question, and it rolls back into the marketplace, and I asked it in general chat, and I'm just doing a follow-up. Is there any chance the marketplace will accept other assets like BNB, BEP20 ETH, BUSD instead of eShare? And if so, without detracting maybe from the eShare utility that it brings forward to us, is there maybe like a quote unquote discount for users that purchase with eShare instead of a different asset? And on the back end, is there any possibility to use those other outside assets as revenue generating assets that you can stake into other platforms like PancakeSwap or Dex vaults?
No doubt, oh my God, bro. And this, again, LA and I know LA is laughing inside right now. You guys are the smartest fucking community on the planet. I have not talked to Vino about any of this, about anything, and literally verbatim, this is what Vino came up with. And again, to drop the alpha, all of that is in the works. So to back up a little bit more, eShare will absolutely be the only transactable token, but we are, again, considering, just let me give a disclaimer, all of what I'm about to say may be subject to change. It's not 100%, and nothing is 100% until you're reading it in the white paper. So please, don't hold me to any of this. But to all that you said, Vino, yeah, I mean, eShare is the number one token, the only token that's transactable. But we are considering using, again, other assets that will be sold to buy eShare. So again, from the front end, we kind of function more like a DEX in that respect, or the marketplace. And again, those of you that are worried about eShare losing its value, imagine all the buying pressure on eShare when we accept other blue chips, but then automatically convert it to eShare. I mean, that is massive amounts of buying pressure on eShare when Fusion is live. So that is definitely something we're considering. And a few other things that you said. Yeah, I mean, if we don't end up selling it for eShare, again, maybe eShare is very healthy, and we're able to maintain a range of price on eShare. Then yeah, I mean, that would be a way for us to accept other blue chip assets into the treasury, and then yield on those assets. So both of those things are possibilities, but either way, you're not going to be able to circumvent eShare, but you may be able to again swap in that respect. So, and again, owning all the emissions and having a very healthy treasury allows us to act as sort of a DEX with these transactions. So yeah, and again, that's about all I can go into. There is some other things that you mentioned that I think that would be extremely bullish, but I don't want to drop again. All you guys get more alpha out of me than ever. But does that help kind of give you a better direction, Vino?
Yes, yeah, it does. And the only follow-up that I have, and I'll get off here real quick. Treasury likes to have yield-bearing assets work for it, of course, just like anybody should.
For sure.
And it sounds like, obviously you said this is all subject to change. It could or could not happen. But if it were to happen, and it aggregates all back towards eShare, is that eShare on the back end then being utilized within the EMP ecosystem from the Treasury to earn a yield on? Or is that being put somewhere else to earn yield on? Or is that something that you can't give out yet?
Yeah, so I can kind of let me just put it this way. So, we've learned a lot from Dex Finance, and you know, what they have done is had to, you know, basically sell their share token, to maintain peg and to keep the protocol functioning. Well, over time, you know, that really has a negative impact on the share token. And if you look at Dex share, you'll see what I'm alluding to. However, over the last like 3 days, not only have they announced that they're getting rid of the emissions, but they're also going to be rewarding people, you know, through their protocol, through the DexShare token. So my point to all that is that, and that made DexShare go bananas. I think it's up like 300% in 2 days. But the point is that we're learning from that. And so there may be a situation where not only are we able to curb the selling pressure on eShare, again, because that's the whole idea, is that just like the auto compounders on Beefy and Yieldwolf, we're able to sell some of that eShare to build the central grid, and to again have a lot of positive buying pressure on EMP. That's another reason, again, I even mentioned that earlier, that we feel like peg recovery is inevitable, because a part of those eShare emissions will be going to buying EMP literally every second of every day. And so the only downside is that that may have, again, selling pressure on eShare, but we're able to curb all of that through everything that you just mentioned over the last 5 minutes, Vino. So, and really, we could get to a situation if we're at PEG and we don't really need to support PEG anymore. The Treasury is healthy. We're making, again, $10,000 a day in yield through all of our investments and the L1X DEX. Then we would never have to release any more EMP or eShare ever. And then now we can start actually burning EMP and eShare. And that is, again, a massive, massive catalyst to price appreciation. So not only will we be burning EMP and making EMP deflationary, but now we're able to actually have, even with an inflationary token like eShare, we're able to have it go down in circulating supply, which again is revolutionary. So yeah, all right. I hope that helped. Again, I know there's a lot of info to go over, but did that answer the question to me now?
Yep, I loved it, and I'll be able to put two and two together with that. And I just really appreciate it. And I'm sorry that I'm always trying to pry alpha, but
No,
I
I
will
love
say
it.
everything sounds fucking bullish. So if you're selling now, I feel sorry for you. Not
Ex-
financial advice.
Exactly, brother. Oh man, I love it, Vino. And again, that just blows my mind. LA, don't we say this all the time about how, you know, we haven't said anything to anybody outside the team, but these big brain motherfuckers, they know what's happening, and that's just so bullish for sure.
Yep. They listen up and they connect those dots and they figure it out.
Yep, 100%. So, again, we're happy to be along the ride here. So, all right, I think that was enough alpha for today. Again, I know I was getting on this AMA thinking, man, we really got to keep things under the lid, and you guys still got it out of me. So, any other last minute questions, LA, before we wrap it up with Spritz and the decks?
I think we're good. I answered them in the chat, so we're good.
All right, amazing. Let me go ahead and pull up the home screen 1 second. All right, so again, just to give some last minute recaps here, we had a really killer AMA with the CEO of Spritz Finance. His name is Chris. He's an amazing guy. We've been working together for about the last 3 months or so. On many different things, but he's an MIT graduate, a DeFi head, like all of us here, and just a really good dude. So make sure you listen to that AMA. It gives a little bit of background on him, what Spritz is, why he wanted to start it, and all the benefits that Spritz delivers. So Spritz is an off-ramping service where you can actually sell your crypto to pay bills. So if you have a mortgage, if you have a rent payment, if you have a car payment, literally anything, or maybe you just want to have cash in the bank. There is many different ways to off ramp through Spritz, and it allows you to avoid any sort of centralized exchanges or expensive off ramping solutions that you might otherwise have to deal with. And they also have a credit card. It's a Visa debit card, actually. He said they may be working on a credit card, which again is some alpha for you if you want to watch the AMA. But it's a debit card where you can load your crypto onto this card, and now you can actually use the credit card in the real world, whether you're buying, a cup of coffee or, ordering pizza or buying a new computer. I mean, it's amazing the functionality that Spritz delivers. So, and again, there is some more alpha at the end of that AMA about how we will integrate or potentially integrate this technology into Fusion directly. So, LA, it was a great AMA, right?
It was so good. He's just such a great guy. Like he had so much great stuff to share. Just a little bit of alpha for you guys. Two things actually. One, we've already earned over $200 in affiliate income from Spritz in literally like less than 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however long since we launched our affiliate link.
Totally.
And that's from like, I don't know, between 5 and 10 people. Like lots of people have signed up, but you only start earning once they actually start paying their bills. But can you imagine once hundreds of people from EMP start using this, how much it's going to generate for the Treasury to be able to use to support the ecosystem? I mean, this could be one of our best outside revenue sources when it comes to, like YouTube and Ledger and all those things. This could be one of our highest earners. So I'm really excited about that. I know a question on everyone's mind has been, when are they going to expand into other regions? Definitely go to listen to his full explanation, but just the Cliff's notes. He did mention that they are going to be looking to expand into other regions in Q3 or 4 of this year. He didn't specifically say which ones are going to be first, second, etc., but he said that that would be kind of the time of the year when we could expect to see new regions to open up in.
Amazing. Sorry, guys, I was muted again. Yeah, no doubt. And I know, obviously they want to expand their reach, as much as possible. But there is a lot of hoops that they have to jump through to open up to Canada and Europe and Australia. But all of that is coming for sure. And yeah, to LA's point, I mean, it could be it already is an amazing revenue stream for us, and we just got started. I mean, Spritz, we're hoping to integrate them not only as an off ramp, but then also possibly as an on ramp as they get that ability added to their protocol. And this really solves a lot of issues that we've seen. And because Fusion, the way Fusion is designed, the off ramping is possible without ever hurting the protocol. Again, I know a lot of other ecosystems are very hesitant to promote off ramping because it leads to more selling pressure on their tokens. But with Fusion, we're able to literally integrate it into the protocol and not have to worry about the potential selling pressure from it. So again, really, really cool stuff. And LA, do we have the affiliate link? I think you posted it, right?
Yeah, I posted it everywhere.
All right. Amazing. And then, all right, we'll wrap it up with L1X. So we had a killer AMA on their Discord last night. So if you guys have not heard that AMA, please join the Discord. I believe they actually even have it on YouTube as well. But it was not only the entire L1X team, but myself and Jake from Dex Finance for giving some info and alpha about the exchange. So the tentative, roadmap is by the end of the month, we're hopefully going to have the branding and all of the socials out and live. We're working on that as we speak. Um, getting everything together for that. And Jake dropped a ton of alpha about what the decks will be capable of, and really having a what they call an MVP or minimal viable product of what this dex could be and will be. We're hopefully going to have that out way before L1X even launches. So that is super, super bullish. That is proving the proof of concept. Again, the interoperability that L1X provides, that's the icing on the cake. But we're going to be able to demonstrate the decks working and prove to everybody, it's not vaporware. This is actually happening. Actions always speak louder than words. So we're going to be showing the decks sooner than later as well. So we're making major headway on all that while simultaneously working on Fusion. It's just never no rest for the weary here at EMP for sure. So, all right, I think that is all the updates. LA, anything else you want to add about the decks?
Oh, there's one more update. If we want to announce that too.
Yeah, about maybe somewhere you may be going soon. Yeah, I'll let you have. I don't want to steal your thunder. Go ahead. Yeah.
We've been waiting a while to announce this, but I'm going to be going to represent EMP at Consensus in Austin in about a week and a half, 2 weeks from now. Consensus is one of the largest crypto conferences in the US, and a bunch of our emperors, I think, are going to be there. So it's going to be really excited. Also, a number of the L1X team are going to be there. So we're going to be able to really, really represent EMP, meet a lot of people, make some great connections, and really hype up, the launch of Fusion and everything that's coming in our ecosystem and just how powerful we are, and hopefully bring some new emperors back with me.
Absolutely, LA. I'm so excited for you again. I would love to be going myself. Unfortunately, Birdie is still a bit young, and I think my wife would kill me if I said we got to take a road trip to Texas. But we are looking into also being represented at the major conferences down here in Miami the following month. So there's a big DeFi conference and obviously the big BTC conference as well. So I may be able to attend those. And we are also looking into an in-person event. I know a lot of you have been asking for maybe doing it at Disney in Orlando. So we have a lot of in-person events on the horizon this year. And again, that is really important not only for EMP and EMP Fusion, but also for the DEX as well. So, like LA mentioned, the L1X team is doing a major, circuit of all the major conferences, and we want to be represented right along with them as the launch deck. So you'll be seeing and hearing a lot more about EMP as we go. So yeah, man, this was like again, LA. I wasn't expecting to drop all this info in the AMA today, but you guys deserve it. So congrats. But yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, the opportunity to meet some of my favorite people. Not only, I was going to say some of my favorite emperors, but just like some of you guys become some of my favorite people, period, like out there in general. So I'm excited to meet some of my favorite people in person, and it's going to be a wicked event. Yeah, this has been an amazing AMA. You guys got a lot out of us, and hope that you feel as fired up as we do. Oh my gosh.
Totally. I love it, LA. Absolutely. And again, we are one big happy family here at EMP. Much love to all of you. I second everything that LA said. All of my favorite people are here at EMP. So, and this is only the beginning. Again, we've been around about a year and a couple of months now, but we're just getting started. And, Fusion is the catalyst to all of that. And so, yeah, really great things ahead. Hope you all enjoyed the AMA today. Remember that we do our AMAs twice a week now, Mondays and Thursdays at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, the more engagement we get, the better it is for everybody. We use part of the or all of the ad revenue to support EMP. And like LA said, we're already earning with our Spritz affiliate. We earned about $600 last month from our hardware wallet affiliate. And again, all of that is documented on chain. If you want to see the actual wallet transactions that are buying and burning EMP, please join our socials. So really exciting stuff. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we can add. It was a jam-packed day today. And next week, again, is going to be hopefully even more jam-packed. Again, I don't know about
Yeah.
Monday, but definitely by Thursday, we'll have a white paper that we can share. And we also have some other alpha. Again, we alluded to this in the very, very beginning of all the fusion discussions, but the EMP website will be going over a full rebrand as well as we go into fusion. So I don't know, maybe we have a little bit of images that we can share next week of what that website may or may not look like, right, LA? Yeah,
Yeah, preview. That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
awesome. All right,
As usual, guys,
yeah,
remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
perfect. Yes, thank you, LA. Again, I'm not a very good YouTuber, so yeah, but awesome. All right, any final words, LA? Go ahead.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. You are all champions, and so excited to ride this journey up with all of you. You've all stuck it out and been here with us every step of the way, and now we all get to win together. So let's do it. LFG.
LFG, yes, absolutely. All right, awesome. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll be around in the socials to answer any further questions that we may have missed tonight. As long as we don't, as long as we're able to answer that, those questions we will. But all right, as usual, good night, good day. We'll see you on Monday.